and what that might involve as a picture of how we change and how we are changed. What kind of change is inevitable, and what kind of change is possible in a life? We are the only animals for whom radical change can be an object of desire, and we are traditionally at our most ambivalent about objects of desire. So we do need to wonder here what so-called sexual orientation is assumed to be, or to be like, if conversion can be the treatment of choice. And, of course, and this will be one theme in this book, how we picture, how we imagine the conversion process such that a person is transformed from one form of life into another quite different form of life. How a set of founding beliefs can be replaced by another, apparently more persuasive or convincing or compelling. It is difficult to know what the word always is, set of beliefs. In the full acknowledgement that it is always the preferred thing that people are converted to. People are only converted from and to the things that apparently matter most to them. Their sexuality here, though once it would have been their religious convictions. These things now blurred and overlapping, flourishing or not in the same hedgerow. Indeed, the idea of conversion raises fundamental questions about what it is for something to change into something else, and for someone to change into somebody else, involving, as it does, the basic assumption that a person must be something recognizable, identifiable, discernible, in order to be so changed. Conversion, then, is never less than serious. Supposedly not real if casual or fleeting, or lightly entered into. We talk of serial monogamists and serial killers, but we don't talk of serial converters. And yet conversion, which was once, quite recently, one of our most socially sanctioned forms of personal transformation, has itself become one of our most suspect, forcing us to think about just what kinds of personal change we can value and why, what kinds of change we deem to be desirable, and what our criteria might be for forms of personal transformation that we can support and endorse. That is, what we are willing to let people do to each other. In short, what kinds of influence we want people to have on each other. From Hitler's Germany and Stalin's Russia to Maoist training camps and radical Islam, we have had, in the more modern era, apparently horrifying examples of the wish and the will to convert whole nations, to make new men and women. And these examples have left us duly sceptical, not merely about the possibility of radical change, but about the desire for it. Are those seeking conversion, in some sense, by definition, as it were, lacking, or even ill? What does calling them ill, or deprived, or depraved, add to the conversation? And what could they be deprived of that conversion will assuage or appease? What kinds of frustration are conversion experiences a self-cure for? Conversions to radical Islam now, for example, only have a bad press, other, that is, than among radical Islamists. But it is both the religion itself and the conversion process that we have become disturbed by. Would we feel better if these young jihadi men and women had slowly converted during a 3-year course at Oxford University in Islamic studies? Why would incremental, evolutionary change be preferred to revelation or revolution? Clearly, a lot depends on how people change and are changed, and what kinds of transformation any given culture promotes, and, by the same token, what kinds of transformation it contests and disparages. What kind of relationship, for example, could a student have to the literature they are studying that would make their teachers or their peers uneasy? Or, in what sense could you be converted to the multiplicity of voices and texts which both resist and invite interpretation, and that we call literature? You could far more easily be converted to psychoanalysis. So we might wonder, say, in the literature department of a university, that if we don't want students of literature to be converted to the study of literature, whatever that might entail, what kind of experience do we want them to have? If a student of literature ends up wanting to be an academic or a writer, in what sense have they been converted? And in what sense...